What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer. A fair amount of time has passed now since Blizzard's latest big controversy first came to light, or at the very least, enough time has passed that not many people are really talking about it anymore. But not enough time, evidently, for Blizzard's content releases to fully recover from the collateral damage they sustained during all this. And specifically, I'm talking about the new deathmatch map, Malevento. The existence of this map was leaked very shortly after the allegations against Blizzard were revealed, and from what we can tell, it seems like Blizzard delayed the release of this new map in order to better space it out and not have it completely demolished by all the terrible press they brought upon themselves with this latest controversy. So in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about when we might actually end up seeing Malevento come into the game, as well as what we actually know about the map so far, and some other little interesting tidbits and content we may end up seeing revolving around it. Real quick though, I'd like to remind you to subscribe and hit up that bell icon to never miss out on any future Overwatch and Overwatch 2 news and content. But now let's take a look at the delayed Overwatch Deathmatch map, Malevento. So to start off this video, I'd like to first summarize everything we actually know so far about Malevento, as well as when it was initially planned on being released. So the only reason we actually know that this map is something which is currently in existence is because we had this one article from Dexerto accidentally release on July 22nd. In this article, which has since been taken down, but of course was archived on a few different websites, we can read that apparently the new deathmatch map was supposed to be a surprise release to the PTR on July 22nd. The map itself is apparently a secret Talon base set in an Italian mountainside, and as we can see from some of the few images that were included in the article, it appears to aesthetically be very similar to Rialto. The article then goes on to talk about how the map was specifically designed to be a deathmatch map, with the article concluding saying that the map will become playable for everyone on live servers on August 17th. Now, I imagine some of you are likely questioning why this article came into existence if the map itself never even so much as touched the PTR. But the reason that this article exists at all is that companies like Blizzard, whenever they have a big content release that they want to really heavily publicize, they'll always tell news outlets ahead of time so they can write up these articles preemptively, and then have a sort of coordinated release where the map will hit the PTR, and then simultaneously all these gaming news outlets can post their own articles talking about the new map so that everyone is aware of it right when it goes live. However, given that, according to this article, the map was slated to release just one day after we ended up seeing the allegations come out against Blizzard, it's pretty safe to say that Blizzard at the last minute ended up pulling the plug on the map's release and likely sent out a message to all the different news outlets saying, hey, we're not actually going to release this map on July 22nd, so don't post your articles. And presumably the vast majority of gaming news outlets got the memo and pulled down their own articles in time to not have them go live, except for this one news outlet, which either didn't get the memo or forgot to pull it down in time, and ultimately was just too slow so that the article popped up for just a few minutes for people to archive before they were quick to take it down. But of course, that was enough time for us to all get a look at the article and decipher all the information it had regarding this new map. Now, as of the time of me recording this, Blizzard has yet to make any official statements regarding Malevento or when the map is going to end up being released, and still to this day, the only thing we have to go on is this single accidentally leaked article. So with that in consideration, when can we potentially see this new deathmatch map being released? Well, unfortunately, it seems like we could end up having to wait quite a while. Blizzard themselves do seem to still be in crisis mode, more or less, when it comes to the whole controversy, and when it comes to a substantial content release, such as a brand new map, they're definitely going to want to distance that from all the allegations made against them in order to not taint the reveal of the map itself. Granted, that already sort of ended up happening thanks to this leaked article, but they can still try to, minimize the damage, so to say, by spacing out the actual release of this map as much as possible from July 21st, when all those allegations came out. Also, for context on how Blizzard has been very sparingly communicating since these allegations came out, if we take a look at the official Overwatch Twitter page at the time of me recording this video, Blizzard hasn't posted anything on their Twitter account since July 21st, the same day those allegations came out. So clearly they've been on silence mode, as they probably don't want to spark up any more negative attention than they've already built for themselves. So if Blizzard isn't even willing to post a single tweet saying, hey guys, the Overwatch Summer Games event ends in a day, or something like that, in order to just remind people that there was an event going on, which of course by now has ended, there's no way they're going to make a huge post talking about a brand new map, and probably having some sort of developer update accompanying it. As I said, Blizzard is seemingly still very much in crisis mode, so I wouldn't be surprised if there is a significant gap between when Malevento was initially planned to release, and whenever we finally do end up having that map see the light of day. But that being said, Blizzard has to get back to normal, so to say, in terms of Overwatch and putting out content sooner or later, and we've already seen them kind of start to do that with the re-release of many Overwatch League legendary skins that have come out of the Overwatch League vault. As I covered in a previous video, 4 of the past Overwatch League exclusive skins have for a limited period of time become available once again, so it seems like Blizzard isn't on full lockdown, so much so that they're not going to have at least a few minor additions to the game for the time being, but seemingly they're not quite ready yet to go with a full-on release of a new map. In fact, we even had a PTR update just recently, which, when I saw that happening, I was expecting that to be the new Malevento map, but it ended up just being some quality of life improvements for custom games, which is still cool, but that's no new map. So the fact that Blizzard is already putting out a new PTR and has done some hero balance changes since all this stuff went down is maybe them sort of feeling things out, trying to tell if it's safe to actually put out a new map just yet, or have any sort of significant new content release. But honestly, we're really just going to have to sort of wait to see what they end up doing. Another thing I've seen some people say regarding this is that in the article, it mentioned that August 17th was supposed to be the day that the new map goes from the PTR to live servers, so some people have been speculating that maybe Malevento will just end up skipping the PTR entirely, and they'll just push it straight to live on August 17th. And as much as I would like for that to be the case, because that means that we wouldn't have to wait as long for the new map to release, I really don't think Blizzard's going to take that route. For one thing, despite what many people think, the PTR is actually pretty important when it comes to releasing significant new content updates like a new map. The PTR helps Blizzard test out this new content to make sure it's stable and doesn't have any catastrophic effects on the game once it goes to live servers. So pushing something like that from their internal development build just directly onto live servers, I don't think is either a good idea or something they're going to end up doing. I think at the very least we're going to see maybe a shortened PTR period, since we originally knew it was supposed to last about 3.5 weeks. So maybe they'll just shorten it down to like 2 weeks and then have it released to live servers maybe at the end of August, maybe early September, who really knows at this point. But the main point I want to get across here is don't get your hopes up for Blizzard just pushing this spontaneously to live servers. Technically they could do that, but I really don't think they will. And on top of that, you also have to consider what I mentioned earlier, which is the Overwatch League Vault skins, which are currently available in-game. And since we know those are going to be available for 2 weeks, it would be kind of weird if Blizzard just dropped a new map in the middle of those new skins being available, especially because, just like we saw with Kanezaka back in January, I think there's a very solid chance we end up getting a new hero challenge corresponding with the live release of Malevento. Blizzard at this point seems very eager to shove in hero challenges wherever they can, which honestly I won't complain about since, hey, it's new cosmetics, nothing wrong with that. But it wouldn't really make sense for them to start a new hero challenge during the 2-week period that the old Overwatch League skins are available, which is just another reason I don't expect August 17th to be when we see the new map release. And that also ties into the greater sort of picture we have to consider when thinking about when Malevento might end up being released. Despite what many people seem to think, Blizzard does actually pretty meticulously plan things ahead of time, which means that with the unforeseen delay of Malevento, that has probably screwed up a lot of their internal sort of schedules for what they were planning to release content-wise over the next couple months. Had Malevento hit the PTR as originally planned on July 22nd, and then gone live on August 17th, we could then expect the corresponding Hero Challenge to likely run for the typical 2 weeks, which would have led to it ending on August 31st. From there, Blizzard maybe would have gone on and had some other content they would release, like maybe a new Overwatch League skin or a different Hero Challenge event of some kind. But now that Malevento has been pushed back so far, it's now going to run the risk of having its Hero Challenge overlap with some other content Blizzard had planned for later in the year. Therefore, whatever content they had back then is also going to have to be shifted around, maybe bringing some of that stuff forward a bit to fill the gap that would have had Malevento. And yeah, I think you can start to see how complicated this all gets in terms of planning out when they actually release the content around this new deathmatch map. For all we know, these Overwatch League vault skins were something they were originally planning to do later in the year, perhaps sometime in September, but then brought them forward to fill some of the time where they otherwise would have had Malevento's Hero Challenge. So regardless of whatever the case ends up being, I do hope that we end up seeing Malevento sooner rather than later, since we know that technically it's already finished as a content edition, since they were originally planning to release it almost a month ago at this point. Also, considering how story-dense Kanazaka was when it released, what with all the teasers it had for the Kanazaka Fox Girl hero, as well as the interesting connections to the Shimada clan and Hanzo, I have high hopes for Malevento, given that we know it's going to be a Talon base, and this map as well could very well be alluding to some other new heroes later down the line for Overwatch 2, or at the very least building more on the existing Talon heroes. I'm calling it now, there's going to be some note or computer screen or something within the map itself that has some bit of juicy detail associated with it, and we won't get to find out what that is until the map hits the PTR. Also, on a similar note, I will mention that if we do end up getting a Hero Challenge with the release of this map, which I do consider to be very likely, then almost certainly the character who corresponds to that Hero Challenge is going to end up being one of the Talon characters. It could end up being Doomfist, Widowmaker, Reaper, Moira, basically any of them, if I'm being honest. And just like Hanzo's skin from the Kanazaka Challenge, could maybe even somewhat tie into the character's backstory. Unfortunately, at this point though, all we can really do now is speculate, as I've covered basically everything there is to know about Malevento at the time being, and basically we just have to keep our eyes peeled now for whenever it ends up hitting the PTR. Honestly, I could see that happening this week, I could see it happening a month from now. It's really up in the air, just considering this latest controversy and how severe it is, and of course all the issues Blizzard is going to have internally with running into scheduling issues with the release of this new map bumping up against whatever else they had planned for the next month or two. I will, of course, be keeping you all up to date with any new developments that do end up happening regarding Malevento, so be sure to stay tuned to my channel to find out when the map does end up releasing, and any sort of in-depth, thorough analyses of the map itself, because I'm calling it now, there are going to be some juicy details on this map. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on when you expect to see Malevento hit PTR or the live servers by dropping a comment down below. As always, be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, hit up that bell icon, and come join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.